about was how what I was talking about was how I was stopping recovery by saying to myself that I wasn't ill enough. And I know there's a really big struggle for a lot of people. The constant thought of you're not ill enough, you're not skinny enough, and then that other thought of you aren't enough. And that constant niggle goes round and round in my head. And I was speaking to a psychiatrist about it because I'm lucky enough to have one. But what she said it was like a tug of war. Well, I kind of was trying to figure out how to describe this thoughts in my head, because I knew that I was sick. I know that what I'm doing to myself's really bad. I know that my weight's not good. I know things like that. I know all the consequences that anorexia will bring me and that relapse is going to bring me. But I just couldn't, and sometimes I still can't manifest that. I still can't feel what that feels like, or acknowledge that it is going to be that bad, because my head constantly tells me that you're not that bad. You're fine. You're still walking. You still got energy. You're still talking. You've still got all your hair. You've not got long hair on your arms, and it'll give me any excuse to say that I'm not sick enough. But like I said, uncertainty was a big thing. I bite my nails. And it was just, we were talking about how if someone with diabetes went to a doctor and they said, the doctor told them that their blood glucose was high, and they could get better by changing their diet, doing some exercise, and just living a healthier lifestyle. Would they wait until they ended up in a diabetic coma to say, oh yeah, I'm sick enough now, I can recover now? No. They wouldn't wait. They would do it now. They would do it before it got to that point. So it was trying to see yourself as in, if this was a physical illness, like something you could see, would you put off recovery? Say, I don't want to use cancer because I know it's a touchy subject for a lot of people, but I'm going to use it because I think a lot of people know about it. So say you felt a lump, I don't know, on your boobs or your breasts or whatever you would call it, and you're like, oh, that doesn't feel right. You wouldn't wait to go to the doctor. You'd go to the doctor and get checked out. And then if they said to you, yeah, it is cancer, you've got option to have a chemotherapy now, or have the taken out, or I don't know, I'm just trying to, or you wouldn't wait to get that taken out. You wouldn't wait and say, oh, it's just started, I'll just wait till it gets worse. You would say, right, get it out now, take it out, stop it now before it gets worse. Yet with anorexia, in your head you think that you need to get to the stage where your life is at risk. And the sad reality is you never know when the last thing is going to happen. You never know when you could take your last breath. You never know that. You might think you know that. You might think, oh, I'll recover when I get to X BMI. What if you can't make it to X BMI without dying? And that might sound really harsh, but it's the truth. You might say, oh, I'll recover when I'm being in a wheelchair. What if being in a wheelchair kills you? Not the actual wheelchair, but the weight you had to get to, or the illness that you had to get to be in that wheelchair. Mama said was like, I'll recover when I go back into hospital. Who's to say that when I get back into hospital, I could come out of that hospital? Like, it's not guaranteed, the severity of it. Because the sad reality is that anorexia will just kill you. And it's never going to be enough. You might think, I'll wait till I get to X kg. You get to X kg and what does it do? Lose more weight, get to X kg, then you can recover. It's never going to be enough, ever. Why try and get to that stage? Why not try and prevent it getting to that stage? It's in your hands. You didn't choose to have your eating disorder. You didn't choose to feel like this when you have a glass of water or have milk, or you didn't choose to feel like these feelings when you start eating. But what you can't choose is to eat. And you can choose to fight through those feelings. Make yourself healthy. And I know anorexia will be like, healthy. Not healthy, don't get healthy. But what's so wrong with being healthy? What's so wrong with wanting a future? We need to learn that it's not a bad thing. So what if we weigh 10 kilos heavier? So what if we weigh 20, 30, 40 kg heavier? Like, your life's not going to end by gaining that weight. Your life will just begin by gaining that weight. Losing weight, your life could end. Yes, I know, there's obesity and things like that. But anorexia, you're never going to end up like that. Maybe you'll go over the BMI scale. But I don't think it's possible to do that. Like, I don't know, I'm not a professional. And I'm not going to say, oh, recover because you're not going to get obese. The thing is, like, so what if you do? Like, are you healthy the way you are now? The main focus is health. And yes, I've got a tug of war in my head constantly. I've got one end. What I'm trying to say is, it's never going to feel the right time to recover. It's never going to be the right time. You could be lying on your deathbed and your anorexia will still tell you that you're not enough. I just had a coffee there at 3 o'clock. And anorexia was screaming at me, telling me that I was going to gain weight from the coffee because yesterday I had my dinner. I got weighed today and I'm not going to say what happened. Well, actually, obviously I'm struggling, so it has gone down a little bit, which is not good. But anorexia was still like, that's not enough. Get to that and you'll be fine. It's never going to be enough. For me, I can't go all in. I can't. I say I can't, but like, I probably can, but I'm still so stuck. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm just like everyone else in recovery. Try to work their way through this crazy world that's mental illness. And I don't know. I just want to help people. But I need to help myself first. And I need to try and do that now. And stop it getting worse. So that's my goal. To get back on track. I don't want to live by anorexia rule anymore. When I think about how much I've missed out over the past few months of relapse, like, it hurts. Like, my sisters haven't, and my dad going out with them. I'll go out with them, but they'll have cakes and coffees, and I'll be sitting there with my black coffee, like, oh, it tastes amazing. Black coffee is disgusting. I mean, sometimes I don't mind it, depends what mood I'm in, but majority of the time I'm like, I'd rather a cappuccino or a hot chocolate, which I'm hoping to get to their stage again where I can actually order one without feeling guilty about it. But right now I can't even have a black coffee with milk in it without feeling guilty. But I'm getting there. Speaking to a psychologist, I just can't live like this anymore. It's snowing outside, it's beautiful. I want to go out and play in the snow. Yes, I'm 18. I want to go out and play in the snow, who cares? I want to be able to run about and just have energy and not feel like I'm going to pass out all the time. But even if you're not at that stage where you feel like you're going to pass out every time you do something, it does not mean that you don't deserve recovery or you don't deserve to get better. Stop it before it gets to that point, please. Stop it now. Prevent that. Because if you get to that other stage, it's going to be even more difficult to get out of it. There's never going to be enough. There's never going to be sick enough. There's never going to be small enough. And comparing yourself with others is just, what is that going to do? Like in my head, like right now, you don't look like you're anorexic. Your face doesn't look so skinny enough to be anorexic. What is even that about? What? Like, who says Jim, Bob and Harry? Like, there's not a look. It's a mental illness. It's like depression doesn't have a look. Anxiety doesn't have a look. Bipolar, schizophrenia, nothing like that has a look. They have physical consequences, but it's not a look. Do you really want to look sick? Reality is no, you don't, but your anorexia is telling you that you do. So let's stop it before you can get to that point, because who knows that you don't know what that point could end up with. You don't know. It's the highest mortality rate of any psychological illness, anorexia. And that's terrifying. You really don't want to die, even if your head's telling you you do. You don't. You weren't born thinking I want to die when I get to X age, or when this amount of brain power takes over. It's got to be a difficult road, but I'm going to try. And I'm just going to, I don't know, I don't know how I'm doing it. I'm just going to try and document things. But yeah, I'm still feeling really guilty about coffee. It's a coffee. I'm scared for dinner. I'm actually like anxiety over dinner. And it's all about 3:30. But you know what? Distractions. You just have to do it. You're the only one that can do it. You don't have a choice. Your choices are you're either dying or you're recovering. And that is a harsh reality. Harsh reality is you die or you recover. Your family, your friends, me, everyone around you doesn't want to go to your funeral. They'd rather hear you. They'd rather hear your problems. They'd rather hold you while you're crying over a bit of cheese than stand at a graveside telling you they love you. Please don't do it before it's too late. Please don't wait. Please don't wait. You don't know when it'll be too late. And that's what I'm trying to do. And that's what I'm going to do. Stop it before it becomes too late.